Rain poured heavily over the small town hospital. The fluorescent lights inside the neonatal ward flickered faintly, casting pale glows on the cold white tiles. Emily sat hunched on a plastic chair, her arms wrapped around herself. Her clothes were damp from the downpour, her hair clinging to her face. Her newborn son, Noah, was in an incubator, tiny and fragile. Born a month early, his lungs hadn't fully developed. Every breath he took was a struggle, a sound of both hope and fear. Emily's eyes stung with tears, not from exhaustion, though she hadn't slept in days, but from the hospital bill folded in her trembling hands. $46,350, she whispered, her voice breaking. Her salary as a part-time waitress barely covered rent and formula, let alone a bill this big. She had no insurance, no family left to turn to. Her fingers gripped her old phone. There was one last person she could think of, her ex, Noah's father. He had left when she told him about the pregnancy, but maybe, just maybe, he'd feel some responsibility now. She snapped a photo of the bill, her hands shaking, and typed. "I can't do this alone. Please, help your son. He needs you." She hit send before she lost the courage. Then she stared at the screen, waiting for the typing bubble that never came. Minutes passed. Then, a reply. "Who is this?" Emily frowned. "Wrong number." She quickly checked the digits, and her heart sank. She'd accidentally sent the message to the wrong contact. "I'm sorry, wrong number," she typed back quickly. But before she could hit send, another message came through. "Your son is in the hospital." What happened? She hesitated. Something about the tone, direct, yet concerned, made her pause. Against her better judgment, she replied, "He was born early. He's in the NICU. They're saying he needs treatment, but I can't afford it." She expected silence. Instead, a reply came within seconds. "Where are you? Which hospital?" Emily blinked. "Why do you want to know?" She typed. "Because I can help." She almost laughed. Help. From a stranger who got her message by accident. Still, something in his words didn't feel like a scam. Maybe it was desperation, maybe hope, but she sent the hospital's name anyway. No reply came after that. Emily sighed, putting her phone away. Of course he's not coming. Why would he? She stood up and went to check on Noah, touching the glass of the incubator. "Mommy's here," she whispered. "We'll figure something out." 2 hours later, as she was drifting in a chair beside his bed, a nurse came rushing in. "Emily Carter?" the nurse asked breathlessly. Emily sat up. "Yes, there's someone here for you. And he's already spoken to the billing department." Confused, Emily followed her into the hallway, and froze. Standing there, in a perfectly tailored charcoal suit, was a tall man with dark hair slicked back, a face so striking it looked like it belonged in a magazine. His presence radiated power. "Emily?" he asked, stepping forward. His voice was deep, smooth, and commanding. "Yes," she managed. "I'm Adrian Blackwood," he said, offering a faint smile. "I think you sent me a message by mistake." Her eyes widened. You're the one who texted me." "Yes," he said simply. "And I've taken care of the bill. The full amount. Plus, a little extra for anything your son might need." Emily shook her head in disbelief. What? No, I can't accept." But Adrian interrupted. "You don't have to. It's already done. Check your account." She pulled out her phone, her hands trembling, and opened her banking app. Her breath caught in her throat. $2 million credited. Her legs nearly gave out. This has to be a mistake." "No mistake," Adrian said calmly. "Your son deserves a chance. And I have my reasons for helping." "Reasons?" Emily asked, her voice unsteady. Adrian's eyes darkened for a moment. "Let's just say, I lost someone once. And I can't let it happen again." Before Emily could respond, the doctor approached, saying Noah's condition was already improving thanks to the immediate treatment paid for. Adrian looked at her. "I'll be back tomorrow. We need to talk." Emily wanted to ask why a billionaire she'd never met cared about her and her son. But before she could, he turned and walked out into the rain, his black car waiting outside. Her phone buzzed. A final message from him. "I'm on my way back tomorrow. Don't disappear." Emily stared at the screen, her heart pounding. Who was Adrian Blackwood? And what exactly did he want with her and Noah? The next morning, sunlight streamed through the hospital window, casting a warm glow over the room. Emily sat beside Noah's incubator, watching his tiny chest rise and fall more steadily than the night before. The oxygen tubes were still there, but his color looked healthier. She kept glancing at the door, unsure whether she was hoping Adrian would return, or fearing it. Just before noon, there was a knock. When the door opened, Adrian stepped in, no suit this time, just a crisp white shirt and dark jeans, but still exuding the kind of effortless elegance money couldn't buy. He carried a small stuffed bear in one hand. "I thought Noah might need a friend," he said simply, placing the bear beside the incubator. Emily's heart twisted. "You didn't have to." "I know," he said, his voice softer now. "But I wanted to." Silence filled the room for a moment before Emily spoke again. "Why? You don't know me. You don't owe me anything. People don't just give $2 million to strangers." Adrian's jaw tightened, his eyes drifting to the incubator. 5 years ago, my fiancée was pregnant. Complications, she needed surgery. We had the money, the best doctors, but the hospital made a mistake. I lost both of them that night. Emily's breath caught. Adrian continued, "I've spent years throwing myself into work, trying to forget. But when your message came, I couldn't ignore it. Maybe it was fate. Maybe, I just couldn't stand the thought of another child dying because no one stepped in." Emily's eyes burned with unshed tears. "I'm so sorry." He shook his head. "Don't be. Just let me help. Not just with the bill, but with anything else you and Noah need." Emily hesitated. "I'm not a charity case." Adrian's lips curved into the faintest smile. "I don't see you as one. I see you as someone who's been fighting alone for too long." Days turned into a week. Adrian visited every day, sometimes with food, sometimes with baby clothes, sometimes just to sit quietly by Noah's side. The nurses whispered about the mysterious billionaire who spent hours in the NICU, but Emily slowly began to realize there was more to him than his wealth. One evening, after Noah had finally been moved out of the incubator, Adrian came in carrying a car seat. "What's that?" Emily asked. "You're both coming home," he said matter-of-factly. "Home. My home," he clarified. "It's safer. You'll have everything you need. And, I'd feel better knowing you're both somewhere I can look after you." Emily blinked. "Adrian, that's too much. I can't just." "Yes, you can," he interrupted gently. "Emily, I'm not doing this out of pity. I'm doing this because somewhere along the way, I stopped seeing you as a stranger." Her heart pounded. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "I told you I lost my family once. I think, maybe this is my second chance." Emily didn't know what to say. Part of her still feared trusting someone again. But when she looked at Adrian, at the man who had saved her son without asking for anything in return, she felt something she hadn't in a long time. Hope. 2 weeks later, Noah was home, sleeping peacefully in a sunlit nursery in Adrian's sprawling penthouse. Emily stood in the doorway, watching her baby, when Adrian came up behind her and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You're safe now," he murmured. Emily turned to him, her voice barely above a whisper. "So are you." And in that quiet moment, surrounded by the warmth of a home she never thought she'd have, Emily realized something. Maybe fate had brought her message to the wrong number, but it had found the right person.